down here? Yes, like it started going, I started diving down, like the trail was down.
I've come to the realization that I live inside a bubble. A white, sandy, sunny bubble with borders stretching to the visible sliver of the sea. The natural and industrial, the ancient and the modern create a world like that of science fiction. I walk among the people feeling as though I'm walking through an alternate reality. This reality of bitter mementos to a dark era and concepts dating back to the time of emperors is their bubble. You can't discuss Vietnam without mentioning the war anywhere you happen to go. To complement the tragic and the disgraceful, a dark irony underlies in that of the tunnels you saw before. What's supposed to be a symbol of heinousness and horror is now a symbol of marketing and commercialism. There's a sense of detachment to the Americans that come here. I feel a part of the generation that has somehow forgotten we were the ones who made this place necessary.
The tunnel is made by the native, the local people there. It's not by the communist force, but the local who did not cooperate with French, and they did the tunnel like a hiding place. They live in a very difficult condition. You see that the 16,000 fighters around there, but when the war ended, it just almost 4,000 survived. Did not have enough food to eat, and when they get sick or get wounded, did not have enough medicine. Several stories had been told. Several people they gone through the amputation without any painkiller pill, and many people they die not because of bullet, but they get infected from the wound.
These caverns hid our enemies from death, and now they've been widened for our waistlines. Tiny, overpriced dolls that serve no relevance to the tunnels whatsoever are sold beyond their exits in the hopes of draining our cash. In a place of mourning and loss like that of a cemetery, we can hear gunshots in the distance. Those come from the gun range built on the actual battleground of the war. We go wild when we hear the shots fired, and adrenaline seems to pump through our veins when we squeeze the trigger on the AK-47. It makes us feel like we're part of the action without attaching us to the guilt of what's happened before. In the film they show to us prior to entering the tunnels, the site appeared to be reduced to a wasteland. A world of ash and smoke became in 40 years' time a massive, lush bamboo field. The large gaps in the ground left by bombs remind me that the wounds of the 70s have not fully healed. They leave behind scars as a permanent reminder, despite the fact that the tissue functions like it once did. The temple is the home to 3 of the central Vietnamese religions. Somehow, conflicting fates can fit into a single 3-story building. The core of Confucianism is humanism, or Ren. When translated, the golden rule of Confucianism is, do not do unto others what you would not have them do unto you. Confucius believed there was a hierarchy, and people were expected to show loyalty, or filial piety, to those higher in the social hierarchy. To understand the principles of Taoism, a deep connection with the earth and all of its elements and creatures is required. This can only be accomplished by learning to observe nature and begin to feel the rhythm of all life on this planet and how it is all interconnected as a balanced whole. The role of the observer is to note how the wind, water, air, earth, and fire are dependent upon the other for life. Another important task for the Taoist is to release yourself from society so you can reconnect yourself with nature and the natural order of the universe. One of the fundamental Buddhist principles of moral thought and action is karma, the belief that what you do in your life will affect how you're reborn in the next life. The world has always used fate as a weapon, a way to point fingers and remove what's considered too different to be good for us. But in between the encompassing towers of concrete and neon, this little pocket of faith unites all in Saigon under a single roof. Maybe it's because they've learned some secret that we all have yet to figure out. Thankfully, the youth of Vietnam is part of the wound that was healed. When visiting a local university, they welcomed us with open arms, a sign, and a couple of songs. I met a student named Hao studying tourism. He told me he wanted to be a singer and sang me a brief portion of Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. Unsure of how to react, I simply observed and smiled. He then gave me a seashell keychain, which I still have with me. Later, it dawned on him that I was in fact not his pen pal, Alex, whom he thought he was spending all this time with. The reality of this world is a strange but beautiful one. I walk away from here feeling like a more complete person than I was before. Yes, parts of it are ugly and shameful, but most of it is an impressive collection of memories in harmony with progress.